Depaul's on their way. Good, Peter. How are you? Okay, we welcome in the Depaul Blue Demons. Congratulations to them, 83-80 winners over Seton Hall this evening in our first semifinal matchup here at the Big East Women's Basketball Tournament presented by Jeep. Couple of notes about Depaul. Tomorrow will mark their 6th appearance in the Big East Final in the last 7 years, and they'll be going for their 3rd straight appearance in that final right there, and their 3rd consecutive Big East Tournament championship. For Lexi Held, 20 of her 22 points in the second half. That's her 8th 20-plus point game this season, and also her 22 is a career best for her in the Big East Tournament. And also for Deja Church, 11 rebounds today, one shy of the Depaul record in the Big East tournament, which is 12. As usual, opening statement from Coach, then we'll open it up to questions for the athletes. First, Coach, an opening statement, please, if you would.
Coach, Bazzella's got his Seton Hall team playing at the best. They're playing their best basketball right now, and they really played a great game last night against Butler. So we knew we were going to get their best, absolute best shot, and we did. And I'm just proud of our players for starting to grasp and understand what postseason basketball is all about. It's about, one possession and at a time, and just battling and executing the little things each possession. I'm just really proud of the way they hung together through a lot of ebbs and flows in that game. There were many of them. I mean, the fourth quarter when the unique beauty of basketball, sometimes a whistle blows and stops it and chops the game every 15 seconds. Sometimes the whistle doesn't blow for 4 minutes. And we had a stretch there in the fourth quarter with both teams going back and forth. And I thought they really hung tough when we got some really good open looks and couldn't make a shot. I was just really proud of the way they hung tough through that adversity, because that could have sent them down the tank, and I thought they hung tough at that moment. So I think that was the key moment of the game. So I'm just really proud of them, proud of both players sitting next to me, but proud of the entire team.
So we'll open it up to questions for the athletes first, over here on the left.
Annie Possible from the Sun Times. First off, happy International Women's Day, you guys.
Thank you.
My question, throughout much of the game, it seemed like every time Seton Hall came within 3, within 5, you guys answered with a three-pointer. Can you talk about your ability to maintain composure in those moments and just never kind of give them momentum up? Obviously, that changed in the fourth, but throughout much of the game, that was.
That's for both players?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with Lexi.
Well, we knew they're a really good team, and we knew they weren't going to go away. And so we were just really trying to focus on, get stops and get rebounds on the defensive end. And I think that's what helped us, separate the lead at times when they were coming close.
We'll do Shantae next.
And then also learning from previous games, being up and then having the team come back is something that we had a theme of. So we definitely wanted to make sure that we didn't have that happen this game. And then it goes back to our experience in big games like this, understanding if we can get a stop, we're just going to do good things for our team.
Over here in the front on the right.
Tim McKinney with LaSalle Broadcasting. Lexi, for you, I know Coach said we had some good looks in that fourth quarter, but it just seemed like how the game was going was like a 100-point game for both teams, but things kind of got a little stagnant offensively in that fourth quarter. Then you hit that 3 that kind of broke the ice, that broke the tide, and had that other 3 that gave you some breathing room. Just kind of talk about that little stretch and those 2 shots for me.
Well, we were just running the floor. We knew that we could get a couple open looks if we would sprint the floor every time after we got stops or even got the ball out quick. And so Kelly was able to push the ball to me, and my teammates were able to get me open. I was able to knock it down.
Right, Ashley here in the middle.
Hey, Ashley with Big Sexy, also for you. Did you switch anything up at the half to get the 20 in the?
I don't know. I knew the first half I had to sit because of my fouls, so I was just trying to do whatever I could to help my team.
Over here again on the left.
During that drought in the fourth, what were you guys communicating to each other on the floor? Just, obviously continuing to shoot and knowing that eventually something was going to drop.
When we start with Shantae on that one.
We understood that the fourth quarters were our defense needed to be perfect, or at least close to perfect. And we know our shots were going to fall. We played the Depaul ball for a reason. So we got to keep shooting. We're going to fall. And then I thought our team really, really did a great job of offensive rebounding at the end.
Lexi, anything?
Yeah, just controlling what we could control. And in that moment, we couldn't control our shots going in or not. So just really getting it done on the defensive end.
Back here in the middle, Ashley.
Yes, for both you guys. Beating a team 3 times in one season is obviously difficult. Take me through how, you've seen this team before. Can you kind of expect what's to come, or do they switch things up for you? Take me through that mentality you bring to the third game.
I think every game has a life of its own. That's something that we preach in our program. So we knew it was going to be different. I felt like this is actually one of the first times we played them where the pace was, up, down, up, down. Sometimes when we pressure them, we kind of slow them down. But this is definitely an up and down, fun to watch basketball. So like I said before, every game has a life of its own. Our coaches definitely prepared us to play them, clearly from the previous 2 times. But I thought we did a great job just learning as we go throughout the game and then adjusting. Same.
We got time for one more for the athletes. Over here on the left again.
How much would you guys like to play Marquette in this championship and maybe avenge that last loss in the season?
We'll start with Lexi on that.
I mean, they're both really good teams, so whoever we play, we just got to focus on what they do and what we do, and so hopefully we get it done.
Whoever wins, I'll take either or.
Great, ladies. Thank you very much. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Katie will take you back to the locker room. We'll reset here, and we'll take questions for Coach. Once again, we'll ask you just raise your hand and be recognized. So,
I'd like to share with you that they're very coachable players, and they answered that last question exactly like I told them to.
I figured. Questions for Coach? We'll start here on the right.
Talk about, of course, the strategy late. You had fouls to give. I know you guys probably practice those situations a lot, so sometimes it's hard for when you want them to foul the right way, but then it seemed like Seton Hall was trying to jump it a little bit and get the shot off before you guys had a chance to foul those last couple of chances to have to score that.
Fouling when you have fouls to give is one of those things that everybody in every bar in America knows and knows that you should do, and every coach knows and knows you should do. But it's it's just a lot simpler to do it. It's a lot simpler to say it than to do it. And in a perfect world, I would have liked to have used a little bit more, eaten a little bit more time with each of those fouls we had to give. But at the same time, you start messing around, trying to wait a second or two, and the next thing you know, bada bing, bada bang, and all of a sudden the ball's flying. And at this time of the year, that's when balls start flying in all over the place. So, we're trying to use the fouls, and then, and at the end there, we put Katie and Kiara Dolman to try to guard the little girl, and that's not fair. I mean, Parkland inbounding the ball is a small player, and we wanted a big player on her, but still, we knew that they had to make a 3. We were going to give them a 2. We weren't going to foul them on a 2. So, I mean, it was good to have the fouls in your pocket, but it's just never as easy to execute the fouling at the end as it seems. You got to be very careful too, that you don't commit that foul on a shot. And you saw Alexis Lewis throw a couple up there that, crazy things happen at this time of the year in these kinds of situations.
Back here on the left, Jim.
Talk about Kelly Campbell's play during the first half.
Yeah, for sure. That was really, she had 16 at halftime. That was really a big deal to keep us going. And, we've been telling Kelly Campbell to shoot since she got here. I mean, Kelly Campbell gets rebounds, Kelly Campbell gets assists, and Kelly Campbell she's the leading three-point shooting percentage player in the Big East. And that's not lost on her head coach. Her team knows it. At the same time, she's got to take them to make them. And she took them in the first half, and she knocked them down. I thought that was really, really huge for us. And then she didn't have, Lexi, that's the kind of team we have, though, where one player can get hot in one half and another player can get hot in the second half. And, don't forget, Lexi got the rest of second quarter. I mean, Lexi got rest tonight other people didn't get, because if I can keep a player on the bench with 2, I will. If I have to play him with 2, I will. I just read the situation, and we left her on the bench in the second quarter, so she did get some rest in the second quarter.
Johnny here in the back.
Hey, Coach. Johnny Silver, Famous Digital. Shante played 40 minutes. Kelly Campbell played 40 minutes. Sonia Warren's almost 38. Just how would you describe your team's ability after yesterday's tough win to come back and play such a physical battle and pull out?
Well, they're tough people. I mean, they're really tough players, and I really would like to use the bench more deeply. And there's a reason, though, all coaches get tighter at this time of the year. It's the reason the bench shortens at this time of the year, because there's no margin for error. And the bench has either put you in a place to have total, confidence that they can play the same minutes. And right now, basically, we've got a 8-player rotation: Kiara Dahlman, Deepa Kelja, and Maya Stovall. But, it was a game where we had to play everybody. And they're tough players. And if you asked them, they'd like to play 40 minutes. So now, tomorrow, they're going to have to, gut it out. It's the only time all year, except in the preseason tournaments, that you play 3 in a row. I mean, we get through tomorrow night's game. They're not going to have to play 3 in a row again, or 2 in a row and again. It's going to be right back to the rhythms of the Big East Friday, Sunday weekends, which some of us that like Friday, Sundays try to preach that this is the way it's going to be in the NCAA tournament. It's going to be a Friday, Sunday situation, Thursday, Saturday, Monday. So we got one more game to gut through with a rapid fire game after game after game, and then it's going to get into the actual rhythms that the Big East has prepared us for with our Friday, Sunday format.
We got time for a few more. We'll start here in the front row.
Depaul, some of the Depaul here. Can you talk about the way that you're able to rebound today and the energy that you bring to the court?
It's amazing to watch young, great players come out of high school that most of them don't value rebounding. They just don't value it. They just don't get it. And you know, we put a real high emphasis on it here at Depaul, and then as she's starting to grasp it, she's a really, really athletic player. She's really explosive, and you know, once it starts dawning on you that every time you get a rebound for your team, it's worth a point, even though it doesn't show up as a point in the box score, it's huge. And so for her to start rebounding this way, we need her to rebound this way. We're still a small basketball team. We need everybody to rebound this way on this team. And we got beat on the boards. I know we got beat most of the game, so I'm pretty sure I haven't looked at this yet that we did get beat on the backboard.
Final two, right? We'll start here and then we'll go to Ashley.
How you doing, Coach? Rapid down in the field, of course. Seton Hall got 50 points in paint. What do you think we have to improve on in the next final game?
You know, they're strong in the paint, and you know, we're just going to have to. You know, what can we do? We got an hour shoot around tomorrow. So basically, all we can do is show videotape. You know, we can emphasize the concepts of guarding your own. I mean, you know, not letting the ball dribble penetrate the way we did. I mean, we had 6 layups, and we gave up 6 dribble drive layups in the second quarter alone. You know, that's 12 points. We're sitting there 50-46 at halftime. So yeah, that was just at halftime. We're not even talking about the Elmo Ortegs one-on-one. I'm just talking about the bounces facing you going at the rim. So I mean, that's got to change for sure. You know, we don't know who we're going to play, so each team brings a different, you know, each team brings a different way they get the ball to the paint, with Marquette being the big, strong team that gets inside, and St. John's the team that drives it inside. But, you know, you got to get paint touches yourself, and you got to keep the opponent from getting paint touches. And I wish I had a magic wand to tell you how we're going to fix it. But I don't know that we're going to do everything we can to fix it. We do understand we have to try to keep people out of there.
Last one, Ashley.
Congratulations on getting to the finals. 2 parts here, kind of. Is this how you expected this tournament to play out? And looking ahead to tomorrow, what have you seen out of both of those teams? You know, and are you looking to avenge that if it is like that?
Well, this is really a great league. The Big East is a great league, and what makes it great are teams. I mean, like St. John's and Seton Hall are easily better than many teams in the 64 field team. Those 2 teams are much better than many teams are going to be in the NCAA tournament. So we're playing against this kind of teams and players and coaches every night. It's a great league. So, you know, it's you know, you're prepared by having to play against this diverse group of coaches and players every night. Ash, what was the second part? Now, what do I expect?
Looking ahead to each team,
well,
are you looking to avenge that Marquette loss?
Say again.
Are you looking to avenge that?
Well, no, you have to be careful what you wish for, because and there's 2 really good teams playing out there, and you start wishing for one team, and you get whacked upside the head by the other. And so they both bring great talent. You know, John's guards are really hard to guard, all of them. Every one of them is a great scoring, penetrating guard, and they're small like we are. And then, you know, Marquette brings the size, the really, really great player in Lott, but they bring the size and the rebounding. You know, they've just have really done a great job of being the team in this league that has been the big dominating team. They've dominated the league with their size, and they're the only team in the league that's really dominated with their size, whereas St. John's is much more like us and much more of a guard-penetrating basketball team. Both really tough basketball teams. I think it's pretty fair to say Marquette's going to go to the NCAA tournament for sure, and they're going to be a really good team in the tournament, and Coach Duffy and Marquette has done a great job of earning their way to that point. And St. John's and Seton Hall, Creighton, these are all teams worthy of being in the NCAA tournament. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but they're all worthy of playing in that NCAA tournament. So it's going to be a great game out here in the next couple minutes, and we'll see what happens.
Coach, thanks very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you all for covering women's basketball. We really appreciate it.
You know, he'll be here. I'm holding down the fort for. I'm holding down the fort for.
Very nice.
We welcome in the Seton Hall Pirates. Now with a record of 19-12, surely some more basketball to be played for Seton Hall, wherever that might be. One note about Elmore tonight, her 26 points are the most points scored by a Pirate in the Big East tournament since Tiffany Jones had 29 back in a game in the 2016 tournament. So a great performance by her. Again, opening statement from Coach, then questions for the athletes, and then we'll excuse them, and then questions for Coach. But we'll open it up with an opening statement from Tony.
Thank you, my friend. I thought it was a really good basketball game. I give Depaul a lot of credit, as always. They was obviously well coached. It's just foolish to say that. They just made one more shot than we did. It was a really good basketball game. I mean, it's funny. I watch a lot of the other tournament championship games and semifinal games to leagues that think they are our level, and it's a joke. Our league is a tremendous league, and any person who doesn't think that the Big East is one of the best leagues in the country is a fool. These kids played their heart out. It's exciting basketball. It's intense. It's physical. It's tough. It's just tremendous. And I'm proud of our players. I'm proud of to be in a great league. I'm actually proud that Depaul is going to represent our league because they're a great team. I watch these other leagues. Anyone who thinks they're as good as our league's a fool. We got really good teams and really good players. And I know our resume doesn't look like it's an NCAA team, but I'll tell you, our team is an NCAA team. So enough with the resume. I know we're probably not going to get in, but when I talk about our players and our team, I'm very proud of them and proud of who they are and what they do and everything about them. So, these two young ladies to my right, especially Shadeen, because this is our last year, have given me everything they could ever give me. And they're great human beings and great people. And, I'm just proud of them. And, I'm frustrated we lost. We're competitive. We expected to win. We wanted to win. We expected to win. This is the first time in a few years we expected to win. And that's a tribute to these girls. It's not a knock on anyone. It's just a tribute to how good our team is. And, we lost to a team that's 27-5. They're really good.
So once again, if you have questions, we'll start with the athletes. If you could raise your hand, and we'll recognize you. We'll start with Johnny here in the back row.
Hey, Johnny Seton, Digital. Just wondered if you could describe the ebbs and flows of the game. It was a highly emotional game. Just what was it like to play in that context back and forth?
We'll start with Shadeen first.
For me, it was fun. I had a lot of fun, especially playing against Depaul. Every time we play them, I know it's always going to be a tough physical game. Me and Stonewall, we always try to push each other in the game and make each other do things that we're not comfortable doing. So I always have a good time playing against Depaul. But I knew coming onto this game, I had to give it all I had. I had nothing to lose, so it was either win or go home.
Desiree?
Same thing as Shadeen just said, especially me being a junior. Shadeen's a senior. This is her last year. I just tried to go out and play as hard as I could for our seniors. This is it for them, and that's it.
Anything else for the players? Go back to Johnny.
Desiree, obviously a great performance, 26 points, and the team as a whole, in the paint, you guys lost 52-26. I don't know if you have that. What was working in the paint?
During shoot around, our coach let us know that the paint was going to be wide open. They can't guard us in the paint, so whenever we catch the ball in the paint, just go up strong, finish, and I just tried to execute that. I think, like you just said, we did a very good job of that.
Great. Ladies, thank you. We'll get you back to the locker room.
Thanks, girls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be following you guys wherever you're playing next.
Appreciate it.
We'll let them exit, and we will reset here in a second for Coach. Okay, once again, if you have questions for Coach Tony Bozzella, just raise your hand. We'll start with Jim here on the left.
I think we, defended a little harder and, really stayed a little more focused, Jim. I think it's hard. Like in the regular season game, we got really frustrated. In the first game at Depaul, we took a big lead. He went to that zone, and we got really frustrated. We cut it to 9, then we turned the ball over. I think the big thing, too, we only had 12 turnovers. I mean, one of the big things I read on Depaul's game notes, which are really well done, was just like how many times they force over 20 turnovers. Well, we haven't committed 20 turnovers against them yet this year, and that's a tribute to the kids understanding what to do, but also having Lauren Park Lane in the back. I mean, she's tremendous. I mean, anyone doesn't think she's an all-rookie player is just, it's crazy.
Here in the front on the right.
Hi, Coach. Tim McKee from South Broadcast. Enjoyed watching you guys the last couple of days.
Thank you, Tim.
I know you said yesterday you thought your ball movement was going to be used. We kind of two-part question, but that was really key today. You guys had 21 assists. And I also just wanted to ask you really briefly about the strategy, last second there.
Yeah. I thought we moved the ball well, Tim, and that was a big thing. And I knew coming in, if we could really work the ball, Depaul really struggles to guard inside. That's not their strength. Their strength is forcing turnovers. So I'm like, don't give the ball to them for a basket. No live ball turnovers, and we did a good job of that. It's so funny you asked that. That's something I'm kicking myself. And you know why I didn't foul at the end? Because they have tremendous foul shooters. Kelly Campbell doesn't miss. All of them are just such great foul shooters. And it was a 3-point game. If it was a 2-point game, maybe I would have gambled that they would have missed 1 of 2. But there's no way with the percentages and the odds, and I'm a big statistic guy, so I study really well, there's no way statistically they had anyone on the floor that was probably going to miss 2 foul shots. And only having 1 timeout, I could only advance it once. So if I had 2 timeouts, I certainly would have fouled, because then I could have kept advancing it. But I had 1 chance, 1 gamble. So my gamble was either, try and stop them and call a timeout, which we did, or foul, hope they miss 2 and call a timeout, I'd be in the same position. So I'd have, 14 extra seconds or 12 extra seconds. Really, it wasn't going to benefit me because I didn't have a timeout, and I would need those extra seconds to bring the ball up the floor anyway, and giving them more time to foul in the backcourt. This way, I thought in the half court, if they fouled us, maybe we got lucky, we threw the ball up. So, I really studied that statistically before their foul shooters. They didn't have 1 kid that I felt would miss both foul shots. If I was up 2, I probably would have down 2. I probably would have fouled. So I would have had a 50-50 chance. But they would have had to miss both. And statistically, they had no one on the floor that was less than 70-something%. And so.
Over here on the left.
Coach, Annie Possible from the Chicago Sun-Times. You open things up speaking so highly about this conference, and I wonder if you can, as a competitor against Bruno, against Depaul, speak to that program. They've accomplished so much, and yet there's this debate about whether they belong in the same conversation as the UConns, the Notre Dames, and I wonder if you can talk about, the level of eliteness, I guess, of this program that Depaul has built.
I would love to, because I have so much respect for them, and obviously Jeannie in the back, but everything about DePaul. I love playing DePaul. Like, I wouldn't be like, if someone told me they were going to the Pac-12, I'd be upset. I enjoy competing against them because they set a standard. I mean, people can't appreciate how good DePaul is. I always laugh because, they're going to draw someone in the NCAA tournament, or they play in these other tournaments. People are like, oh, the preseason NIT, and they played, the top team in the, CAA, and we're going to play them. Okay, you wait till you play DePaul. You think you watch on tape and you think you have a clue on how DePaul's going to play you. You got no clue. And that's why you get smacked by 20 and 30. In the league, it's a little harder for them because we play against them. Our kids know them. We're playing them 3 times. But DePaul's system, what he has accomplished here, forget the wins. How about the consistency? How about the student athletes? I mean, he's winning with student athletes, but the consistency of their level is, to me, amazing. And what we're trying to do at Seton Hall, and it's like, oh, you've been there 7 years, it's a long time. Let me tell you, 7 years is not a long time. So when I took over, it was not in good shape. Then, we had a lot of success early, and then you have to rebuild it, and you have to build it a certain way. And it's hard. So his consistency is amazing, and that's something we strive for. We studied him. Those of you in the room know we've tried to change our system to a little more faster. It's very similar to him, and now we're getting a little better players. So we're not at their level yet, but we're getting there. And I just, having them in the conference is amazing and great, but having them represent the conference is even better. I'm excited to see who they're going to play in the NCAA tournament. I can't wait for them to play this team and this team. I'm like, you guys have no clue what you're in for. And you know what? If it wasn't for some bad luck, he would have been in Sweet 16 numerous times, or the Elite Eight. I mean, you know, these games, when we enter the playoffs and stuff, it's a little luck involved too. Who gets in foul trouble? You know, the right matchup, on the road, stupid shot, you know. I mean, he's just been unlucky. I haven't seen him, in the 7 years I've been here, the 6 previous years, I haven't seen him win a game where he got a break or he got a little lucky in the tournament. He hasn't gotten lucky yet. You gotta get lucky every now and then, and he will.
Got time for one more. Johnny in the back.
Coach, congratulations on a great season. I'm sure you wish you could actually be Samuels for another year. But describe what she meant to the program this year.
You know, she didn't get made second team all conference, and I understand statistically, and maybe her play is why she did it. But you know, she played against a first team all conference kid yesterday. Who is Kristen Spoiler is, but you know, Shadeen, you know, locked her down. Shadeen's playing on one leg. I mean, she's got a degenerative knee. It's been very difficult for her. You know, she's gotten better, she's gotten stronger, but it's been a hard year. She's missed 5 games. I think if she hasn't missed those 5 games, we don't go 2-3, we go 5-0, and we're probably in the NCAA tournament. But I never questioned her as a human being, as a competitor, and most of all as a Seton Hall student athlete. I mean, she's represented us tremendously for 4 years. And I'll miss the points and the rebounds. But like Doug always says, you miss the people a lot too. I'm gonna miss her as a person. And you know, we'll get some good players in here, but I don't know if we'll ever get people as good as Shadeen. She's a really good person.
Coach, thanks. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. I just want to, again, I say this pretty much every year, and I don't say it for any other reason than it's true. The people at DePaul, I say this to Jeannie even when I say it at the Big East, the people of DePaul treat me like it's my home game. They do. From Frank to every single person that takes care of me. When I walk in, they come over, they're genuine hello, take care of us. The people are great. That's obviously a reflection on Jeannie. She does a great job, and it's a reflection on DePaul. And, you know, I say, people like, oh, you say, I say because it's true. I do. I hope I can say it next year, whether I'm here or whether we're in somewhere else. But I am only going to say if it's true, and it is true. The people here are as genuinely helpful and nice as any people I go to any arena at all. So I want to thank them for that. I want to thank you for that. I want to thank all of you for covering women's basketball here. And I started on that thing, and I get a little angry because even us, we have some alumni that think the Big East is just some middle-level conference, I was told. And, well, you're a fool. The Big East is a really good conference. We have great teams. And I don't care if we get 1 team in, 2 teams in, 3 teams, 4 teams in. You know what? I know Seton Hall is an NCAA team. We're not going to get in, but we're an NCAA team. We got good players, and we compete hard. I look at these other conferences, you got no way how good our conference is. And yeah, and Connecticut's coming in, it's going to make it an even better conference. But this is a damn good conference the way it is right now. So thank you for covering it. Thank you.
Sween.
How are you? I'm doing well. One more to go.
Yeah.
Few rounds.
It's their 6th appearance in 7 years, 4th straight appearance, but they lost in 17.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate all the help.
Sure.
Nice job, Joe.